Imagine two people living completely different lives. One wakes up early, eats clean food, exercises daily, and follows every modern health rule. The other eats fast food, sleeps irregularly, skips the gym, and somehow never gets sick. No constant colds, no chronic diseases, no mysterious fatigue. At first glance, it feels unfair. But what if the explanation isn't discipline or luck? What if the real answer is hidden much deeper, inside the microscopic code written in your DNA? Because modern genetic research has discovered something extraordinary. A small group of people possess rare gene variants that act like biological armor, protecting their cells from damage, infection, and aging. And understanding these supergenes could completely change how medicine works in the future. Before we begin, take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because every week we explore the hidden science inside the human body that most people never hear about. Now let's uncover the genetic secrets that allow some people to stay healthy regardless of lifestyle. Number 10. The DNA repair advantage. Imagine your DNA as a massive library containing billions of letters. Every day, that library is constantly under attack. Sunlight, pollution, viruses, even normal metabolism. Each of these can damage DNA, creating tiny errors known as mutations. Most people accumulate thousands of these small errors over time, but some individuals are born with unusually efficient versions of genes responsible for DNA repair. One of the most important systems involves the PARP1 enzyme, a protein that detects damaged DNA strands and immediately activates repair pathways. Studies from the National Institutes of Health show that individuals with more active PARP1 pathways repair DNA damage significantly faster. This matters because unrepaired mutations are one of the main drivers of aging, cancer, and immune decline. In people with superior DNA repair systems, cellular damage is almost fixed as quickly as it appears. It's like having a maintenance crew constantly restoring a building before cracks can spread. And that quiet repair process may be one of the first reasons some people rarely get sick. Number 9. The autophagy cleanup system. Picture your cells as busy cities. Factories produce energy, proteins are assembled, and waste is constantly generated. But if garbage collectors stopped working, the entire city would slowly collapse. Inside the body, that garbage removal system is called autophagy. Autophagy literally means self-eating. Cells break down damaged components and recycle them. Some people carry gene variants that enhance this process. One key regulator is the FOXO3 gene, often called a longevity gene. Research published in the journal Cell has shown that FOXO3 helps activate autophagy and cellular stress resistance pathways. People with certain FOXO3 variants appear more frequently among centenarians, individuals who live past 100. Why does this matter for illness? Because efficient autophagy removes damaged mitochondria, viral particles, and malfunctioning proteins before they cause inflammation. In other words, their cells clean themselves faster than problems can accumulate, and when the internal environment stays clean, disease struggles to take hold. Number 8. The anti-inflammation gene shield. Inflammation is often misunderstood. In small amounts, it protects the body from infection and injury. But chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers of modern diseases, from heart disease to diabetes to autoimmune disorders. Now, imagine if your body naturally produced less unnecessary inflammation. Some individuals carry beneficial variations in the IL-10 gene, which regulates anti-inflammatory signals. IL-10 acts like a biological brake pedal, calming the immune system after it responds to a threat. Research from Harvard Medical School has shown that people with stronger IL-10 expression tend to have lower levels of chronic inflammation markers like C-reactive protein. Lower inflammation means less damage to blood vessels, organs, and immune cells. It's like reducing constant background noise in the immune system. And when inflammation stays under control, the body becomes far more resilient to disease. Number 7. The virus-blocking mutation. One of the most famous protective mutations ever discovered is called CCR5 delta 32.
Think of viruses like burglars trying to break into a house, but burglars need a door. The CCR5 protein acts like a doorway used by certain viruses, including HIV, to enter immune cells. However, individuals with the CCR5 delta 32 mutation produce a defective version of that doorway, and without the door, the virus can't get inside. This mutation is especially common in parts of Northern Europe. According to research published in Nature Medicine, people who inherit 2 copies of CCR5 delta 32 are almost completely resistant to HIV infection. This discovery even led to one of the most controversial gene editing experiments using CRISPR technology. But beyond HIV, this mutation reveals something bigger. A single change in the genetic code can dramatically alter how vulnerable someone is to disease. And some people are simply born with more biological locks on their cellular doors.
Number 6. The cholesterol protection gene. For decades, doctors believed high cholesterol was inevitable with age. But genetic research uncovered something remarkable. Some people carry mutations in a gene called PCSK9 that dramatically lower cholesterol levels for life. Normally, PCSK9 reduces the number of LDL receptors, molecules that remove bad cholesterol from the bloodstream. But certain rare mutations disable this gene. The result? The liver removes LDL cholesterol far more efficiently. A landmark study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that individuals with these mutations have up to 88% lower risk of heart disease. What's fascinating is that these people didn't follow special diets or medications. Their biology simply protects them. This discovery was so powerful that pharmaceutical companies developed PCSK9 inhibitor drugs, now used to treat heart disease worldwide. But for those born with the mutation, their cardiovascular protection was written into their DNA from the start.
Number 5. The unbreakable bone gene. Bones constantly rebuild themselves throughout life, but for most people, bone density gradually declines with age. Yet scientists discovered families with extremely dense bones, so strong they almost never fracture. The secret lies in a gene called LRP5. LRP5 regulates the WNT signaling pathway, which controls bone growth and repair. Certain rare mutations make this pathway unusually active. Research from Yale School of Medicine found that individuals with this mutation can have bone density up to 8 times higher than average. That means stronger skeletons, lower fracture risk, and slower physical decline. It's another example of how a single gene can quietly protect the body from age-related damage, and it shows that biological resilience sometimes comes down to microscopic instructions written before birth. Before we reveal the most powerful genetic defenses discovered so far, here's a quick question. Do you think genetics or lifestyle matters more for long-term health? Share your thoughts in the comments, because the answer might surprise you. And if this kind of science fascinates you, consider sharing this video with someone who always wonders why some people seem naturally healthy. Now, let's continue.
Number 4. The super-efficient immune sensors. Your immune system relies on sensors that detect invading pathogens. These sensors are called toll-like receptors, or TLRs. They function like microscopic alarm systems. When bacteria or viruses enter the body, TLRs trigger immune responses within minutes. But some people carry genetic variants that make these sensors more efficient. Research published in Nature Immunology found that certain TLR7 variants increase the body's ability to detect viral RNA. That means infections can be recognized earlier, before viruses replicate widely. Early detection gives the immune system a massive advantage. Instead of fighting millions of viral copies, it stops the invasion at the beginning. This faster immune response may explain why some individuals recover from infections so quickly, or barely feel sick at all. Number 3. The mitochondrial efficiency factor. Inside every cell are
are tiny structures called mitochondria. They produce the energy that powers every biological process. But mitochondria also generate reactive oxygen species, unstable molecules that damage cells. Now imagine two power plants. One leaks toxic smoke constantly. The other runs clean and efficient. Some people inherit mitochondrial DNA variants that produce energy with less oxidative damage. Research from Stanford University shows that efficient mitochondrial function is strongly linked to slower cellular aging and better immune performance. When mitochondria operate smoothly, cells maintain stronger defenses against stress, infections, and metabolic diseases. So, while lifestyle certainly matters, the efficiency of these microscopic power plants may already be determined by genetic inheritance. Number 2. The stress resistance gene. Stress affects nearly every system in the body. Hormones rise, immune function shifts, cells experience metabolic pressure, but some individuals carry powerful variants of the NRF2 gene, a master regulator of cellular defense. NRF2 activates hundreds of genes responsible for antioxidant production and detoxification. When oxidative stress rises, NRF2 switches on enzymes like glutathione peroxidase and superoxide dismutase. Studies published in the journal Antioxidants show that stronger NRF2 activation improves resistance to inflammation, toxins, and metabolic stress. In simple terms, it allows cells to survive harsh conditions with far less damage. It's like installing an automatic shield that activates whenever the environment becomes hostile. And for people born with highly responsive NRF2 pathways, their cells are naturally better prepared for modern stressors. Number 1. The longevity gene network. Finally, the most fascinating discovery in modern genetics isn't a single gene, it's a network. Researchers studying long-lived populations, including communities in Okinawa and Sardinia, discovered recurring patterns of protective genes. One of the most studied is SIRT1, part of the sirtuin family of proteins. Sirtuins regulate DNA repair, inflammation, metabolism, and cellular aging. When activated, they help stabilize the genome and improve mitochondrial efficiency. Research from MIT and Harvard researchers studying sirtuins has shown that these proteins influence how cells respond to stress and repair damage. Combined with FOXO3 and other protective genes, they create a powerful system that maintains cellular health over decades. Think of it like a biological orchestra. When all these protective genes work together, DNA repair, autophagy, inflammation control, mitochondrial efficiency, the body becomes remarkably resilient. Not invincible, but far more resistant to disease than average. And that may explain why some people seem naturally protected from illness throughout life. So what does all of this really mean? It doesn't mean lifestyle doesn't matter. Diet, sleep, exercise, and environment still influence how genes behave, but genetics can set the starting conditions. Some people begin life with stronger cellular repair systems, faster immune responses, or more efficient metabolism. In other words, their biology gives them a head start, and understanding these rare genetic advantages is now guiding the future of medicine. Scientists are developing drugs that mimic PCSK9 mutations, studying FOXO3 activation, and exploring CRISPR gene editing to replicate protective genetic effects. The goal isn't to create superhumans, it's to understand how nature already protects certain individuals and use that knowledge to help everyone live healthier lives. Because the real secret isn't that some people never get sick. The real secret is that inside every human body exists a blueprint for resilience. Science is only beginning to learn how to read it, and once we do, the future of health could look very different. If this topic sparked your curiosity, the next video you should watch explores another hidden biological mystery. It's called The 5 Rare Signs Your Body is Lacking Essential Nutrients You Cannot Ignore. Because sometimes the body sends quiet signals long before real problems appear, and once you learn to recognize them, you start understanding your health on a completely new level.